Hello guys, welcome to the platform once again. It's great to be back on your screen. In this episode, we are going to look at the analytics, detailed analytics of why Thomas Tuchel lost his job at Chelsea. But before coming to the studio, quite unfortunate news coming into the newsroom is that the Buckingham Palace announced the peaceful passing of Queen Elizabeth II and will give her some respect with respect to some minute of silence. And yeah, our condolences to the royal family on the peaceful passing of Her Majesty, and we express our condolences and wish that everything goes on according to plan. Coming back to our topic, Thomas Tuchel and his detailed analytics of why Thomas Tuchel was sacked out of Chelsea. Yeah, and there are so many. My verdict is that I supported him as a coach that Chelsea should have given a long-term contract. I said it and have not hidden that fact on several of my platforms, be it on TikTok or YouTube here and then on Facebook. I've said it, but despite that ambition that I used to clamor for, that he should be given so many years to stabilize the affairs of Chelsea, because Chelsea has had so many years of having a short stint with coaches, and I wanted that to have stopped with Thomas Tuchel, but so many issues came into play and to have bring us to where we are right now. And already, let me take this opportunity to welcome Graham Potter to Chelsea. The former Brighton coach has now been confirmed as Chelsea manager, and I will go straight into the key reasons why Thomas Tuchel lost the Chelsea job. Tuchel is not an innovative coach, judging from my observations for some time now. This is because teams have studied his game plan and hence have been able to devise an antidote to score and beat Chelsea some games. No wonder he was struggling with respect to setting winning some games for Chelsea. And his mistake was that he was using a blueprint that he used to win the Champions League. That's i.e. we have Jorginho and N'Golo Kante in midfield during that Champions League, in which I maintain and still insist that it was N'Golo Kante that covered Jorginho, and hence Jorginho's flaws were not detected, though he played well. I'm not saying he faltered though, but his performance wasn't more than 20%. In midfield, Kante was doing 80%, though Jorginho did equally his part in a little bit. But why, ask yourself, why is it that always when Kante is not in Chelsea setup, Jorginho struggles? Ask yourself. It means Kante is doing certain work for Jorginho on the field, and Thomas Tuchel was using that blueprint for winning the Champions League, and now reality has set in that N'Golo Kante is now injury prone, and so Tuchel has lost his main man in midfield, and so he uses that same blueprint, putting Jorginho and adds Loftus-Cheek. Sometimes Conor Gallagher is good anyway. Thomas Tuchel doesn't know how to use him, so that is a subject for another day. And he uses other midfielders in addition to Jorginho, and Chelsea always become exposed, you see. And that blueprint for winning the Champions League, of which we have Jorginho and Kante. Kante is no more because of injuries. He's not regular. Hence, he had to rely on Jorginho and other players. And that other player that comes in can't do the work that Kante used to do. And so he's exposed in midfield, you see. And as a coach, and Jorginho's ineffectiveness was observed when Chelsea played last season Manchester United. And Jorginho Chelsea were defending, played a corner kick against Manchester United. And Manchester United had a counter break on Chelsea, and Jorginho was supposed to cover the ball. And instead of him to cover the ball, he wanted to control it. And in his attempt to control the ball, he lost it to Jadon Sancho. And instead of him to race and track Jadon Sancho to win the ball, he was trotting and walking unconcerned. You see, if it were to be Guardiola who were coaching Chelsea, since that time, Jorginho would have lost that midfield position. But after the game, Tuchel came out to defend him that he had back pain. If he had back pain, why is he in midfield in that crucial game? So you see, these are the kind of scenarios which continued, and Thomas Tuchel, despite Jorginho's ineffectiveness, continued to play him in games which cost him, and Chelsea were losing and struggling in some games. Let me go to another bullet point number 2. He wasn't an attentive coach, and hence it baffles me, and hence I wonder if he carefully watches all players on the field during the game. Yeah, I talked about Jorginho's laziness in his failure to track Jadon Sancho. He should have monitored him on the field. I don't know, maybe sometimes he used in arguing with referees and assistant referees rather than concentrating. The same problem that Lampard used to do, and Lampard was sacked. Thomas Tuchel has repeated that sometimes Lampard will concentrate on officials and be having argument with them instead of him to watch every movement of his player on the field. Number 3, he isn't a coach that really believes in the youth policy of the club, though he introduced Trevor Chalobah, somebody who will say yes. But Trevor Chalobah, when he plays competitively for Chelsea, Chelsea does not lose games. And Thomas Tuchel is blind to that fact. I'm surprised he doesn't know that. If he wanted to save his joy, he should always have played Trevor Chalobah. Hence, he was doing selection and selecting players to appease some senior players like Aspilicueta, who is supposed to be on the bench and should be playing 10-15 minutes now of his career. He's a backroom, a guidance in the backroom, not necessarily now on the field. He needs to be playing some few minutes, but in the dressing room, when you have Aspilicueta, he helps Chelsea in advising the youth players. I know that, but now, full-time, 90 minutes or 60 minutes, you don't give to him because of his pace. He doesn't have the pace. So Trevor Chalobah should have been counted upon to be playing most of the games, but he drops him. Yeah. And also regarding that same issue, Jurgen Klopp gives opportunity to youth players like Fabio Carvalho and this guy, Harvey Elliott. But Tuchel buys Chukwuemeka, and midfield is in a mess, and he doesn't try Chukwuemeka. After trying Conor Gallagher, he should have tried Chukwuemeka in the midfield to see how creative he would have been, because Chelsea's problem is barely is the lack of creative midfielder. And Cassidy also, he put him in the academy. I'm not saying all these youth players instantly can make impact in Chelsea, no, but it's worth giving them the chance if you've invested some money in them. Hence, he wasn't giving them chance. And another crucial point of Tuchel is that he has no consistent first 11 since 20 months of arriving at Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea plays football. You don't see Chelsea having a consistent 11. Unlike Guardiola and Klopp, when even they are losing, you see a certain consistent pattern. Until yesterday against Napoli, that Liverpool flopped. You could see consistent level of play when even they are playing, even if they are losing. But unlike Chelsea, you see the players do not press, lack of press. The players will be working on concern on the field. So it's a critical area that the coach should have addressed rather than selecting the same players that do not give him results. And also another point, lack of serious preseason is also seen in the players, because when you see the fitness of the players is not that good. When you see Chelsea playing, Chelsea is like any other ordinary average team. I wonder if during the preseason, he put them through fitness regime with respect to running and athletic activities. You see all like we see Man City, Liverpool, that were draining the players during preseason. Tuchel, it came in that he was playing table tennis. Though I wouldn't cite that as a factor. If he had been winning games, I wouldn't mention that. But it's that as attitude showed me of somebody who is not serious enough. And then he's got personal issues regarding his divorce, and now he's gone in for a young girl, and some gossip also went in that the players were trying to talk behind the scene about that attitude of now having a young girl. And also he did something which I find it insane. He's wanted to take either Armando Broja or Gallagher and add money to Everton and get Anthony Gordon, when in fact either of those players, Armando Broja is better than Anthony Gordon. You can argue, check their records last season. Conor Gallagher is also better than Anthony Taylor. You don't add money to those players and go in for Anthony Gordon, not Anthony Taylor, the referee, no. Anthony Gordon of Everton. So you see, Tuchel, though we wanted him to stay, but his failure at Chelsea was self-inflicted. He inflicted the failure on himself, because you could see that there are certain players on the field who are not helping his cause, are not getting the results, and he's not dropping them for new players that have come in. The likes of Denis Zakaria have still not been tested. Chukwuemeka has still has not gotten any minutes. Cassidy has still not gotten any minutes. And you can't tell me, you can try them. You see, all these players, Napoli that defeated Liverpool, there were some youth players in the squad. They weren't relying on old players that when they fail, they still play old players. No, you need to try some new ideas and new personnel. You see, when you are not getting results using the same personnel, you change them and try. Maybe he has he has a good philosophy with regard to coaching, but implementing it on the field using the same personnel that have failed is the problem. And he was trying to use the blueprint success that he had in Champions League of playing the same lineup. So when even people have figured out that they are playing and easily beat Chelsea, he doesn't want to innovate ideas. Look at Pep Guardiola. When he realized that people are trying to steady the way he plays, he innovated a new idea of now having a target man in Erling Haaland. You see, so that was what Tuchel failed to innovate himself to meet the challenges currently facing him. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do well to hit the subscribe button, and then follow me on Facebook, as well as and then all my platforms, TikTok at Fauzan Blues. We are buzzing there. Make sure you join the family there. Thank you very much for spending your time on this analysis. Cheers. I love you wherever you are. I wish Thomas Tuchel the best of luck. And to Graham Potter, we welcome him and wish him all the best at Chelsea.